Welcome to the Speech Judge training video for the State Academic Decathlon competition. We want to thank you for volunteering your time to help these amazing young people show their academic and professional talents. Without volunteers like you, this competition could not be a success. Academic Decathlon is a national competition of high school students that require each team to have students from all levels of academic success. However, whether these students make all A's or all C's, you will see they are all extremely talented. Every student has taken on the rigorous study of 7 academic areas: math, science, art, music, economics, social science, and literature. At competitions, they take multiple tests over these subjects, write an essay over a chosen topic, give a prepared and impromptu speech, and participate in a professional interview. It is a demanding competition, but as a former coach, I can tell you, it is a thrill for these young people. You will be judging the speech competition. You, along with the other judges and a timer, will host 4 to 8 students at a time. Each student will give their prepared speech that is required to be 3.5 to 4 minutes long, and then the student will choose an impromptu topic from 3 options, have 1 minute to prepare silently, and then will give an impromptu speech that is required to be between 1.5 to 2 minutes long. Penalties are given if either speech is too short or too long. The timer will be responsible for cueing the student about the amount of time left and reporting to the judges the length of the speeches. Once one student finishes both speeches, you will fill in your score sheet, and then the next student will go. Here are the 7 elements you will look at for the prepared speech. The first 3, speech development, appropriateness, and speech value, deal with the construction of the speech, the words, ideas, and themes the student wrote about. The next 2, voice and nonverbal, are how the speech is performed at the competition. The other 2, effectiveness and correctness, are a combination of the performance and the written speech. You will not have a copy of the written speech. It's important to review all 7 criteria before beginning judging. Let's identify some of the key elements to look for within the text of the speech you hear. Speech development. This involves having an introduction, a conclusion, and excellent examples to support their ideas. Appropriateness involves the style and words used in the speech. Are they appropriate to the topic and to the audience? Speech value deals with the speech ideas. Are they original, meaningful? Regardless of whether the speech is serious or humorous or otherwise, the ideas should have some meaning. Let's take a look at the criteria for the presentation of the speech. For voice, the students should vary their voice to add emphasis and interest to the speech. They should project and enunciate their words carefully. For nonverbal, carefully observe the student's body language. They should be confident and use their body to support points through smooth, purposeful gestures, expressions, and body placement. The next 2, as I said, are a combination of the speech the student wrote and how they present it. Effectiveness. Listen to see if the speech has a clear purpose that is achieved by the end, and the student does an excellent job of holding the attention of the audience. They will do both through a combination of the words spoken and their voice and body efforts during the speech. For correctness, listen for correct grammar and pronunciation in the speech. It is important to listen to the entire speech before deciding on a score. Some find it useful to keep brief notes on scratch paper as they notice things. However, ensure that you are closely listening to and watching the speech the entire time. After the prepared speech, a judge will hand the student 3 options to choose their impromptu topic. The student will have 1 minute to choose their speech topic and plan. After the 1 minute has expired, the timer will call time and the student should begin their impromptu presentation. There are only 3 criteria for the impromptu speech: content, delivery, and overall effectiveness. However, you are looking for similar things as the prepared speech. Content. Listen for the organization, ideas, examples, and word choice of the impromptu speech. For delivery, look at the student's body language, gestures, posture, and listen to their voice and delivery. The overall effectiveness, did the student maintain the attention of the audience And did they achieve their stated purpose? Now let's take a look at a previous decathlete give a part of their speech. Think about the criteria we discussed as you watch.
Paper, oh paper. We use it every single day for nearly everything. While technology progresses, paper remains faithful to us. We use it for taking notes, for cleaning, wiping, wrapping, even for rolling up into a little ball and throwing at our enemies. Truly, a resource to be loved. But what if I told you that paper still has unrealized potential? That there are several ways paper can revolutionize our world? Well, you're in luck, because that is what I am here to preach. Through paper, we can solve world hunger, stop pollution forever, and soar through the skies. Millions starve every day, and yet at the same time, millions of pieces of paper are wasted. If I told you that we could just have the millions of people starving eat the wasted paper, would you believe me? Well, you better, because it's true. Paper is widely made of bamboo and sugarcane, a panda's favorite food. And scientists have confirmed that pandas and humans are made up of at least 25% similar genetic composition. I mean, duh, both humans and pandas have 4 limbs. With this in mind, it's obvious that we should be outsourcing our spare paper to regions in our countries and other countries with low nutrition rates. In fact, we should be converting more spare bamboo to paper for the sake of food. I mean, do the pandas really need all that bamboo? Surely we'd rather not have a poor child named Henry starve, just so some random panda can get fatter. Great. Now that we've solved world hunger, let's use paper to tackle the next big issue, pollution.
From that excerpt, let's talk about each criteria. Speech development. From what we saw, there was a clear introduction and examples given. Appropriateness. The word choice and style is appropriate to humorous speech. Speech value. The humorous speech is original. However, the ideas are not meaningful or entirely make sense yet. I would need to listen to the entire speech to see if there is some greater meaning his examples are leading towards. For voice, his voice is clear and confident and does vary to add interest and to emphasize points. For the nonverbal, he does use gestures and body position to emphasize points or to signal changes. However, the movements are unnatural, stiff, and distract from the content of the speech. Effectiveness. His purpose is clear, though incomplete, since we did not watch the entire speech. Since this is supposed to be a humorous speech, judging his effectiveness with humor would be a part of your score. Correctness. His grammar and pronunciation was clear and seemed correct. I cannot give scores for these categories yet, because I haven't heard the entire speech. Only begin thinking about what score to give a student once you've heard all of the speech. A student's speech may seem confusing at first, but then resolve to something very creative. They may also start out with an amazing performance, and then decline as they go due to memorization issues. Thank you for working through this training and for volunteering. These students depend on your time and attention to their presentations to grow and succeed. If you'd like to watch the rest of this young man's speech, it will continue at the conclusion of this video. Thank you again for your time.
This is also a pretty simple matter to solve. All we need to do is make some cardboard boxes out of paper and find some cats. After hours of studying, I've discovered that statistically, the majority of polluters have cat allergies. I've also discovered that all cats love cardboard boxes and will always go inside the nearest ones. So, cats love cardboard boxes and polluters have cat allergies. Now imagine that we go to New York City with 10,000 or so cardboard boxes and just cover the streets with them. The next day, cats will surely have saturated the streets of New York. Those with cat allergies, markedly polluters, want to forsake the outside world, while the rest of us will be enamored by the cuteness of our new cat-filled city. Thus, if we scatter millions of cardboard boxes all around the world's cities, we could get cats everywhere, and then pollution would halt, expeditiously. And now, for my final world-changing innovation for paper, paper airplanes. I'm not talking about the tiny folded paper airplanes. I'm talking about massive Boeing 747 size paper airplanes. Most airplanes are made of metal, making them heavy and slow. But with just a mere 325 million sheets of paper, we could construct one huge paper airplane. For evidence, I present to you the Phineas and Ferb episode De Plane. In De Plane, Phineas and Ferb create the paper pelican, a paper airplane that rivals the largest commercial airplanes of all time. The plane includes an entire musical cast, several flight attendants, and many passengers, thus proving the practicality of standardizing paper airplanes today. To add on to this, paper airplanes are made of purely paper, making them great canvases for art. As a frequent flyer myself, I often get bored on flights. But on a paper airplane, I can draw whatever I want directly onto the paper. Orange cats or pink unicorns with mustaches, and so much more. This would make all flights quick and fun. And isn't that the best way to use our major resources? I say yes. Let's make some paper fly. All in all, we must exploit paper to its fullest potential. Gone are the days of the hungry masses. No longer will the affluent be so dismissive of our environment, as we welcome a new paper-based era of aerial transportation. So rip out the paper from your notebooks and notepads and join me as we change the world forever. Thank you.